So many people try to fill up their to-do lists with a bunch of things in order to consider themselves productive. However, they spend more time figuring out how they're going to do all those things than they do actually doing them. They're spreading themselves thin. The productivity secret is to do less and to get so good at that one thing that you have no other option but to reach every single one of your goals. I'm a personal brand strategist. I've worked with a bunch of business owners. So here's how to achieve more with your company by doing less elsewhere. Let's get right into it. So I have a slideshow here. So every successful entrepreneur has their thing. Jeff Bezos with Amazon, Mark Zuckerberg with Facebook, and Steve Jobs with Apple. Every single day, they only have one thing they need to get better at, which is their business. They just need to improve it every single day. So they have one thing to strive for. Yet, every new entrepreneur nowadays is jumping business model to business model. They aren't sticking with one thing. And I think it's the influencers preaching new business models every year to build up hype and get sales. I think they're the main problem for this. All these people here, they go from drop shipping to, they do e-commerce stuff, high ticket sales, crypto, whatever it is. They're jumping business model to business model with the things they're teaching that all their viewers follow them and jump business model to business model. They aren't sticking with something. The whole get rich quick has created a false reality. That's not how these people got rich. They got rich by picking one thing and sticking with it. And the truth is, business gets boring. It takes a long time to succeed. Almost every business model you see online works. You just have to give it enough time. So you have to expand your timeline. A lot of people think success is just pick a goal, aim towards it, work towards it. You're going to get there eventually. Sure, but you're going to be going through a lot of loops. There's going to be a lot going on. So what this point A to point B, it looks short, right? You see, they start their business, then they get there. But reality is they start their business and they go through a long time. Like if you extended this line here, it would go on like off the screen probably. That's how it actually works. So just because you're seeing point A to point B doesn't mean it's that simple to get there. Okay, so now we know that we must narrow down our focus to one business model. But let's take it one step further. So less is more. The average productivity guru has a to-do list that looks like this. Gym, run, ice bath, morning affirmations, research new business models, watch new Andrew Tate podcasts, find dropshipping product, learn how to find high-ticket clients. There's like 3 business models in there. And they scroll on TikTok, they cook, they eat, they clean. That takes like 4 hours out of their day just eating and cooking. They have no time to do the rest of the things. They don't have time for anything. That's the average productivity guru trying to fill up their calendar as tight as possible. But an actual productive person has a to-do list that looks like this. Wake up, work, gym, sleep. It's that simple. You just need to work to get results for your company. Gym, keep your health up, all those things, and then sleep. And of course, there's other small things that come into play, but those are the basic things that they write on their to-do list because it's the only things that really matter. So cut out anything in your life that isn't propelling your business forward. Your phone, it's causing lack of focus. It's causing you to get a lower attention span, to want things faster when things take time. Your fast food, the bad foods you're eating are causing a lack of energy, along with the lack of focus. So, everything in your life matters. It all affects your business in some way through second order consequences. You make one action, then it trickles down in a domino effect to result in a consequence later down the road that you don't see when taking the first action. So your inputs affect your outputs. Now let's intensify this logic. So the image is kind of low quality here, but all you have every single day and in your whole life is time and energy. Time and energy, that's all you have. Here's what happens when you do many things with your time and energy, right? So here's like all the things going out, your time and energy just going out in all different directions, like 12 different things here. And then here's what you do, or here's what happens when you do one thing with your time and energy. You put it all into one thing. You wake up and you only work. You're only striving to improve the business. This is what happens. You go so much farther versus just like spreading yourself thin, like I said in one of the first slides. That's what's happening here. They're trying to do so many things that they don't actually go anywhere. But if you put all your energy into one thing, you actually go somewhere. So how do we actually do this? How do we actually go in one direction? First thing is to delegate whenever possible. Time-consuming things we can't cut out. So there are a few time-consuming things we can't cut out of our lives. I say I say cut out everything that doesn't propel your business forward out of your life. But, there's things we have to keep up, such as eating clean, repetitive tasks in the business, and consistent exercise. All these things we have to keep doing, yet they aren't the best in terms of like quick results. Like, you do them, it doesn't feel like your business is really improving from them, but over time it's going to affect you like crazy. But they're super time consuming, and we don't want to be chefs, employees, or fitness trainers. We want to be successful business owners. That's what we're striving for. It's the one thing we're going towards. Going back to this, we're striving for one thing with our time and energy. So all these things here they feel like a waste of time. So the solution is to hire other people to do those things for us, or find more effective ways to do them ourselves. So like eating clean, that's the first thing. To eat clean, you have to go to the grocery store. That's like 30 minutes. Or first you got to figure out what you want to eat. 15 minutes. Go to the grocery store, 30 minutes. Cook the food, 45 minutes. Eat the food, another 30 minutes. It adds up. It can take like 2 hours just to eat a meal. What you can do is hire a personal chef. I know not all of you have that money, but if you do, hire a personal chef. Get someone to come by, cook you meals. That's ideal. The second thing you can do, if you don't have as much money, this is what I do, is I meal prep my meals. So I know what I'm going to eat throughout the week. And also I just eat consistent food. So I'm eating almost the same things every single day. So it makes it so I don't have to make decisions every day of what I'm going to eat. And I can have the meals basically ready for me already. Saves a bunch of time, and it's just grouping the work into one day, into one portion of the day, so then you can spread it out and save a bunch of time. Repetitive tasks in the business, just hire an employee. Just get your employees up, If there's something that can be repeated over and over and that's possible to teach someone else, just hire someone. If you have the money, hire someone. It's going to save you a bunch of time. Consistent exercise, get a personal trainer. If you can afford a personal trainer, get one. Or you can get like an online coach. You can find some online workout programs, something to keep you consistent so you don't have to worry about staying with your program or anything. Also, if you don't have that, just, find a schedule, create a routine. If you can't like afford one online, just create a routine for yourself you can keep up so you know when you're going to the gym and what you're going to do. It's going to save you time because then you just show up and do the thing you have set for yourself. It makes it simple. Again, removing decisions from your life. So now we have more time to do what we do best, which is just growing the business. That's all that really matters. All right, the next thing is that focus is more important than hours. So it's not about how many hours you put in, it's about how much focus you have during the hours you work. We all have the same 24 hours every single day, yet millionaires are outworking you by over 100x. Like 100x is not saying much. Over 100x without working 100 times more. So how do they do this? They have better focus than all of us. So here's a task here. Here's an example. Reading a book, right? Person one, both people read for 1 hour, but person one has 2 focus points, right? That's just the metric we're going to use in terms of like measuring how good their focus is. So the first person has 2 focus points. Second person has 4 focus points. In 1 hour, the first person reads 20 pages. 1 hour, the second person reads 40 pages because they have double the focus points. Double the focus equals double the output. So notice how they're putting in the same amount of hours, yet person number 2 is getting more done. That's why hours don't really matter if you don't have good focus. So prioritize focus over the hours you put in, just mastering your focus. And now I'm going to teach you how to do that. So the first thing is to remove stimulation before focus. So it's very difficult to go from chaos to focus. Very difficult. So look at chaos. This is what the graph looks like in your brain. This is how like your brain frequencies are going. It's going like off the chart, just insanely crazy. This is like listening to loud rap music, like crazy music before you work. Eating junk food, eating carbs. And carbs aren't bad. You can eat complex carbs, but just don't do it before you work, of course. And then there are things like, there's just a whole list of things. Going on TikTok, watching TV, whatever it is. All those things that cause chaos in your mind, that overstimulate you, are going to make it very difficult to work right after. So you can't be doing anything like this before you work, especially in the morning. So first thing in the morning, your mind's super fragile. Do not watch TikTok. Do not listen to loud music or anything to get hyped up for the day. It's not going to make you better. Just get up and work. You want your focus to be steady. This is what focus looks like. It's a very steady state. And going from this to this is nearly impossible. So Don't do anything stimulating before your work or before you need to focus. The next thing, the good shit sticks. So when you're working, when you're trying to get into a focused time and something pops up in your mind, right? You're like, oh, I should probably add this to my landing page of my business website. Don't just stop the work and go do that, because it's going to ruin your focus and it's not worth it. And the way to think about it is the good shit sticks, meaning whatever is truly important is going to stick with you even after you finish your work. So when something pops in your head, don't stop your work to go do it. If it is important, you remember to do it later. Therefore, removing yourself from a focused state is not worth it. It's just not worth it to stop your work to go do something that pops in your mind. That's going to train you to keep doing that. You just want to pop in the mind and then just go back to the work. Just ignore it, go back to the work, because if it's important, you'll remember to do it later. And here's how to actually master that idea of getting distracted and then focusing back to the work. It's through meditation. So meditation is important, especially for those who often go to do something and forget what they were going to do. I bet a lot of you guys have that. Like, I even have that sometimes. You go to do something and then you're there and you just like, what the hell? What am I here for? Why did I even come over here? And that happens to a lot of people. And that just means you need to meditate more. Whenever I don't meditate as much, like maybe for a week or something, I forget to do it here and there, like every day for a week I've had sometimes. I notice that this happens a lot more. I like forget what I'm doing. I lose focus a lot easier. So if you can't focus on a task for over 2 hours, then you need to meditate like a lot more, because 2 hours isn't that long even. Like, you should be able to work for 2 hours straight and not have to go on your phone or like do anything besides the work. It should just be easy. Or maybe not easy, but you should be able to do it without getting all antsy. So meditate for 15 minutes per day. It's that simple. Just 15 minutes out of your day. Instead of spending 4 hours on TikTok, just dedicate 15 minutes of those 4 hours to meditating. It saves you time. There we go. So how do you meditate? Focus on breath. So you breathe in through your nose and then out through your mouth. That's how simple it is. You just go in the nose, out the mouth, and focus on the breath. So I've heard someone say focus on like the middle part of your nose, like right here, because that's like where the breath actually hits, and it's just easier for you to kind of picture the breath going in and out. And then you can go in your nose, or in your nose, out your mouth, whatever you want to do, but always in the nose. You get better oxygen that way. And during the meditation, you will get distracted for sure. Like, everyone gets distracted, even those who like meditate constantly. They get distracted. What you have to do is acknowledge it and then bring your attention back to your breath. So yeah, of course you're going to get distracted. You don't want to get frustrated by it though, because it's completely normal. And this is why we meditate. We meditate so we can learn how to go from distraction back to breath. So it'll train you, or here it teaches you how to speed up time between getting distracted, recognizing it, and coming back to a focused state, which helps you to do one task for an extended period of time without getting distracted and wanting to go do something else. So it's that whole thing of doing less, getting more results. Just do one task for a long time and you'll get more results. So meditating will help you to do that. Stick to the plan. So creating an optimized routine that you can repeat daily will reduce the amount of decisions you make, therefore increasing your time, energy, and output. You want to have your day pretty dialed in, where you don't have to think much about what you're going to do next, just because you've done it so many times and you already have a routine planned out that it just comes down to doing the thing that you have planned. Sam Ovens, the owner of School, if you don't know the website, it's like the next community-based website, like the best one, probably. It's been blowing up like crazy. But he said, if you don't have a plan, you'll become a part of someone else's. And that's true. If you don't have a plan, if you don't know what you're going to do with your business, then you're going to start helping someone run theirs. You're going to have to be an employee, which I know a lot of you guys watching this want to be entrepreneurs and business owners because you want to have control over everything. You're kind of a control freak. But if you don't have a plan, if you don't know where you're going and what you're doing every day, then you're going to have to be a part of someone else's. They're going to take over. Someone's going to text you and say, hey, let's hop on a call and discuss this business plan. And then you're going to have to sit on that call. Like maybe you want to be there, but like logically it's more effective to do your own thing. But you'd be on the call for like an hour helping them do it. And if you don't want to be there, if it's like interrupted your work, you're still going to have to do it because you don't have a plan. You don't know what you're going to do in that hour. Someone called you, so you answer and you spend that hour doing their thing. But what you want to do to avoid that is set rules. So everyone needs a wake up time and they need a go to bed time. You need to know what time you're waking up, what time you're going to bed every single day. And the go to bed time will mean that if you are doing work and it's past that time or it's about to hit that time, you need to stop the work and go to bed. So if it's 10 o'clock and you're still working on like a video you're editing or something for a client or whatever business you're running, and you have a rule set that at 10 o'clock you have to go to bed, then once it hits 10 o'clock, you go to bed no matter what. You know that video is going to have to be pushed to tomorrow, unless it's due that night. If it's like a deadline, then sure, get the deadline, like hit it. But if there's no deadline and you just have to finish it by the end of the week and it's like Thursday maybe, it has to be due on Saturday night, you know, Friday, you can wake up on Friday and keep going. But if you stay up late on Thursday to finish the video, your whole Friday is messed up. So don't let one task, like pushing work too late one night, just mess up your next day, because it's going to ruin the rest of your week and all your work's going to be offset in the long run. So you got to think long term there. Take a little sacrifice and go to bed and have to finish the work tomorrow, rather than ruining your whole week by ruining your sleep schedule. So you also need to set rules for what you prioritize. You need to know what you prioritize with your life, which should be your business ideally. So you'd be like, yeah, my business is what I prioritize. So then every single action I take has to be adding more to that business, if that makes sense. The next thing would be the morning routine. So you want no decisions in the morning. This one's pretty simple. I talk about morning routines all the time. So simplify it. This is mine here. No decisions in the morning, just meaning you need a morning routines whenever you wake up. You just know exactly what to do. And the more decisions you have to make, the more brain power you're wasting, especially during the morning when your brain is a lot more fragile. It's not the best thing to have to make a bunch of decisions. So here's my routine here. Wake up, like shower, brush teeth, everything in the bathroom. Then I plan next YouTube packaging. This is like on Sundays. I do this every Sunday. I plan the next YouTube title and thumbnail, and then start the intro and everything. So it takes me like an hour and a half to figure out. And then I meditate 15 minutes and then eat breakfast for 45 minutes. And I do that every single day. Even on school days, it works because I'm waking up at 5 a.m. and I don't leave till like around 8. So the whole idea is to just really nail your routine so you don't have to make decisions and you can just repeat the same tasks every day. And you can also have consistently good days. So if you're waking up at the same time every day and doing the same things every morning, if you have a good day one day, the next day you do the same morning routine, you should have a good day the next day, theoretically, because you're doing the same things. And if you get good sleep on top of that, because you went to bed at your set rule time, then you're going to have a good day again. So that's kind of the thing you need to understand is having your morning routine set and the time you wake up, the time you go to bed set is going to allow you to control your life a lot more. Last thing for morning routine is to have your clothes ready every single morning. So like the night before, lay your clothes out, know what you're going to wear. Because if you don't, then you're just going to be setting yourself up for failure. You're not going to know what to wear. And again, more decisions to make, which isn't good, of course. All right, the next thing is to have monk-like discipline to stick to this routine. So again, if sleep and routine go slightly off, an exponential domino effect leading to much larger negative outcomes throughout life and business will occur. So just avoid letting your sleep and routine go off, because then you're not going to have control over your life anymore. Going back to the quote, if you don't have a plan, you become a part of someone else's. If you don't have a plan, if you don't have a routine, you're not going to be able to actually succeed in your own business. You're going to have to help someone else. So if you're wondering what I do, I help business owners start and grow personal brands. I've been able to grow my personal brand from 0 to over 400,000 followers in about a year, and getting consistent million views on Instagram, having YouTube videos even get 300,000 views. And I know views don't actually mean anything if you're selling a product, which is why I try to make sure that everyone I work with is able to target ideal customers for whatever they're selling, and also build a long-term, authentic personal brand on top of that. So if you want to work with me, you can book a call to join my private community with the top link in the description. And if it resonates with you, perfect. If not, you got a free coaching call. So I'll see you there.